the past 2 days I've just been contemplating, you know, about the people who have made a difference in our society, in our lives. And Ghana tends to celebrate politicians a lot.
Too much.
You know. And last week I was watching something where a young politician was in the streets and he was hailed by thousands. Like, basically even couldn't move in traffic in Ghana. And I was asking myself, what has he done? Like, apart from
being popular,
how does he impact my life? And then I also just, you know, thought about that so many other people, perhaps at his age, who are doing so many impactful things that nobody cares about, that nobody knows about, but who actually are the reasons why perhaps you're able to move from A to B. The fact that you're able to send money on your phone, the fact that you're able to do, you know, and the passing of Herman Chinery-Hesse, you know, really caught my attention.
Herman Chinery-Hesse was a
colossus. And he passed away 2 days ago or 3 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Quietly. You know,
Tuesday.
Very understated in my estimation. But I think his worth to the tech space in this country.
I'm telling you.
You know, Herman crawled so everybody else could walk and run, including those who are running.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was asking myself, how come it's just come and gone? It's just come and gone. Like, oh, there was a mention.
Yeah.
It didn't even trend.
To be fair, you're right. The Facebook yesterday and on Tuesday, people in our community were lamenting his death. But you're right, it didn't. John Mahama tweeted about it.
Yes,
he did tweet about it. I'm not sure if
because he knew him personally.
Yes, he described him as his friend. But you're right. And imagine if you were in another country like the US.
Yes, that was basically the equivalent of maybe a Steve Jobs passing away.
Because Herman Chinery-Hesse, when it comes to software development, all right, the first Ghanaian to understand it and to make
find a monetary
business case out of it, because we were just basically depending on outsiders. He learnt it, he understood it, he applied it. So things like Aketua, which a software he developed for making and tracking payments for the accounting system.
Yes,
Hey Julo, a system that
security.
For security. You know, he was not just a tech guy who designed things because he can code. He designed solutions, and he built a behemoth called Soft Tribe. And this is like first generation of developers. Now you have lots of people who are developers. There's a whole community of them. It's very sexy now.
Yeah.
But when he started it, it was very tough.
Very.
You know, to not just understand it, but to make a business case and also to solve problems. You know, so Herman was in a different class.
You know, and this morning I just, want to celebrate that and urge the people, us as Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Look, we must celebrate people like Herman.
Yeah.
I would not be upset to read about Herman in a textbook.
Yeah.
Because of who he is.
Yeah.
But Ghana being what it is, in 5 or 10 years, Herman's name disappears. Which is something we are trying not to let happen.
We shouldn't allow that.
That's exactly the point I'm making, which is why I'm using the airtime you've given me and this platform. Because without it, where else would I'll be perhaps tweeting about it. In a day, it's gone. Perhaps I would be writing about it. It would live. But I want everybody to think about Herman Chinery-Hesse and people like Herman.
Yeah.
You know, in that we say we are in an era of digitalization or digitization, whichever one you want to go with. And it would not be possible for some of the things that are being done now, that are being mooted, without the steps Herman took in 1991.
Yep.
Along with Kwame Nabolton and those who have come along the way.
Kwame
Nabolton, Kofi Dazi, Rankard,
then you have
Estelle.
There's a guy,
Derry Dean, all those boys who came.
Before then, there's, I forget this guy's name. Someone else help me. What's his name?
Mention the company, I might be able to help you.
They call him Zatochi, but I forget his real name.
I'm sure that. Okay, give me a name then.
His company is. They were in that generation. His company. Oh Lord, I'll remember.
Nina Kukweno.
Yes.
People like that mean more to the economy of this country. The economy of this country moves because we have thinkers, innovators.
Yep.
You know, and you've always made the case that for a country like ours to grow, we need thinkers. People who innovate. We have a lot of politicians. They don't innovate. They don't think too much. Well, if they think, they don't think too deep. They are not risk takers. They do the obvious. People like Herman did those things so that opportunities could be created.
Let me add to what you're saying. You know, some people, when they are born into privilege, they just use that privilege to benefit themselves. Herman was born into privilege. So Michael Kwashi is the name of Michael Kwashi. They call him Zatochi. So his mother is the Chancellor of the University of Ghana. And of course, his maternal grandfather was a barrister in Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana.
Court, yes.
So he was born in Ireland. He went to Infantipim School. So he was born to privilege. But if you look at the kind of things Herman did, so think about Aketua. Think about Hejulo. Hejulo was something we advertised on Citi for many years. Where it's a low-cost, mobile-based, mass-market community security alert system. Where if, for example, somebody breaches your security, it sends a text to a number on a radio station. The radio station just announces. It also goes to hit a police server, so they hear that there's somebody who. So a solution that's well thought through. Then there was the ERP systems he worked with, utility billing systems. Now ECG, you can do. Like yesterday, I went home and realized my credit was finishing. Just went on the ECG app. So I just went on the device. Got my app, bought 500 cedis of credit, and then input the token into my meter device, and I have power. And I mean, these are things he was thinking about in the early 2000s.
And that's the point I'm making. So if we are able to do all these things, and millions of Ghanaians do these things today,
and they take it for granted, that somebody had to do the manual hard work of, like, it's like if you are a pioneer of something right now, it's easy to do many things. Those days they had to do it the hard way. You know, and you're right. For example, we are talking about STEM schools now. I was watching Channel 1 yesterday, and they were showing the STEM schools that had been built. And I was thinking to myself, in any other country, you can actually name a school after him. If you are doing a coders program, because you are talking about now everybody understands STEM. Okay, so even your kids now in school, there's STEM clubs. They are in grade 3. They know what science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is in grade 3. 30 years ago, nobody knew what that was. So Regina Honu is doing coding, right? I have lots of friends who are ladies who are now hardcore technology people. Herman broke the glass ceiling for all this. And the other thing is that technology in and of itself, if it doesn't solve problems and cannot make money, it's not real technology. So I think the real value of Herman is in the problem solving. Okay, the problem solving dimension. And you are right, we should not allow it to just die. Oh, he's dead, that's it.
No. You know,
we shouldn't allow that.
You see, that, like you're saying,
these POS systems, the POS, they pioneered POS systems.
You know,
POS system, plenty of things.
So, like when our kids are looking up to computer programmers and others that they want to look up to, they will mention all kinds of sophisticated names. Nobody will mention, very few are kids that is we know, you know, because we work in that space. But our kids will say, well, who is Herman Chinery-Hesse? What are you talking about? Meanwhile, he's mentioning some 24-year-old boy in Silicon Valley. You understand? That is who my son or my daughter or
before
is looking up to.
There was Herman.
You understand? So people like Herman, Persol Systems, that was Michael Kwasi.
Persol, that's what I know.
We spoke about Dr. Thomas Mensah.
So there's Soft Tribe, there's Persol, there's B Systems. They were the pioneers. There are not that many. All right. There's also a project he was doing called the African Echoes. Which was creating African audio books for global consumption, because he wanted Africans to tell their own stories to a worldwide audience. So he was very Pan-African. Lived in Sierra Leone, Liberia, with that mindset that we are not always supposed to just be there for people to come and help us. We can also create our own solutions for other African countries.
And he loved to share knowledge. So Herman like he would travel to speak to people, to share about how you can grow in that space, how to like he will basically motivate you. You know, my first experience of him was actually on the CBS.
He will send you a text when you are talking. He'll give you some angle.
You know, he'll give you some angle, and then he came for an interview. You know, when you switched to this format, one of the first people we had in for a chat was Herman.
Yes.
Back in the day, you know, and his aura was amazing. So
his range, he
as
understands history, culture.
this morning for me is just an appeal to us as Ghanaians to remember that there are lots of people who impact our daily lives more than the politician.
It's true.
And so, yes, we can hold up the politicians as our heroes, but they are real heroes.
We shouldn't conflict popularity with
impact.
And he's won many awards, too many to mention. For example, he was named 20 of the notable black innovators in technology.
Wow.
One of
Africa's
top 20 tech influencers. Among the top 100 most influential Africans of our time. This is a Foreign Policy magazine. He's been focused on various platforms.